Music Group. Remember, this is the biggest. Remember, there's three big music companies that everything fall under, right? Universal Music Group. That's where you get Republic. That's where you get like the Drakes, the Taylor Swifts, all of them, and a shit ton of other labels, right? Even Capitol. You get Sony Music Entertainment. That's where you're gonna get Epic Records and a bunch of others. Okay, I'm keeping it on the hip hop side that you guys can recognize the labels, and then we get to like, for example, what else? What's the last one? Warner, and that's where we get Atlantic, 300, and a few others. Okay, now what happened is that Universal Music Group, they're actually publicly traded, and what happened is they gave a quarterly report to their investors, and essentially what they admitted for the very first time is that they believe that streaming has capped out. And this is very important. So stay with the story. Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, Pandora was in the mix. I don't know where they're at these days. They started off on a race to get millions of subscribers once they realized that the music industry pretty much acknowledged their failure in preventing piracy. So they couldn't stop people from illegally downloading peer-to-peer software, and because that was the case, essentially the music industry, they had to look to the tech industry, and the tech industry is, as much as you think of Spotify as a music company, it's a tech company. So they came with a solution to say, yo, if people ain't buying the music anymore because they could get it for free, we all know the saying, why buy the cow if you could get the milk for free? How about we give them a deal they won't even blink about paying for? We'll give them every music that they don't technically own, but they could stream it on demand. Let them pay like $10 a month. We'll treat it like the streaming model, which, by the way, the streaming model is also adopted by Netflix and others. Great. Sounds great. It was basically bringing free money, and the music business was realizing that they were losing so much money they need to make a change. Okay. Every year streaming has been going good. And I'm going to make this a short story. I'm not going to make it too long. Now, the point of this whole story is every single year, Spotify would report, yo, we just gained 50 million more people who are listening. So the way how rappers or your favorite artists and labels make money through streaming is this. Remember, you're only paying 10. Actually, I just looked at my bill. Spotify charged, how much they charge me? I think Netflix charged me 20. Yeah, Netflix been going crazy. I got to check that. Anyway, let's say you pay $15 for Spotify, right? The way how labels get paid from that is that they pool all of the subscription models. Because remember, you can't buy music on Spotify. You can't, well, Apple Music, they have the iTunes, so you can buy music technically. But let's just only talk about streaming. So Apple Music streaming, Spotify streaming, Amazon Music, not purchase, streaming. We're only talking about streaming. And I'm going to tell you why eventually, and this is a big deal. So essentially, every year, the music industry is trying to make more money. It's like any other business. Like Tesla's trying to make more cars next year. Apple's making more iPhones. Everybody wants to get more, right? These days, people have 5 phones. Like they want to we're bringing an iPhone to fucking Sri Lanka. Like that's how Apple keeps growing. That's how their stock price keeps going. That's why and after they realize the slowdown with the phones, first of all, they'll announce a new phone. Then they'll be like, hey, we're coming out with Apple cars. And then we're coming out with AirPods. Like they'll keep making products to keep increasing revenue. It's all about revenue. Again, with Spotify and most streaming platforms, the only way they get revenue is from subscriptions. So you're paying your $15 a month. Now, they get to increase revenue if they keep adding new subscribers. So there was a year they were all competing and they were all announcing, yo, we just hit 30 million paid subscribers. And then the other company came out, we hit 45. And what's happened is that all that has slowed. And Universal Music Group, Apple doesn't share their data at all. Apple never shares data, okay? Spotify used to announce data, but they haven't for a while, and people have been wondering why. But Universal pretty much kind of snitched on them because that's their partner. Universal owns the catalog. They own a tech company which streams the catalog. Universal says that it's no longer reliable to think that there is more people that aren't on streaming currently that would pay for streaming currently that they could add to increase revenue. Now, I didn't finish about how people get paid. So that 15 a month, let's say there's 100 million people paying $15 a month. What's that? If it's 100 million, yo, my math be like crazy sometimes. That that'll be $1.5 billion, right? So you have 100 million people paying $15 a month. It's $1.5 billion. And the way how it works is that they just kind of do it like it's math, right? It's like, hey, depending on the amount, they break it down via time, right? So, okay, the amount of time, if we're going to split up your $15, where does it go to in your listening, right? So if you listen to old Drake, they kind of almost do it in that way where, okay, we're going to put the majority of what you paid as a subscription to pay to his label, if that makes sense. If you only listen to Yeet, they're going to put the majority. So they do it on a very tiny way, and obviously these are computers doing it. And then they get these payouts to the labels for these artists, okay? Now, it's way more complicated than that. I'm trying to make it simplified. So I know people be hitting me like, accurate, not being all the way correct. I'm trying to keep it simple for some people who might not know, all right? Cool. So that's kind of how money's getting paid out. Every artist wants to get, these labels want to get paid more and more, and these artists want to get paid more and more, right? So finally, Universal Music Group comes out and say, yo, we don't think we can't forecast that the streaming companies are going to still be able to keep adding new subscribers, which would mean new money. So now this is where it's going to change. They're about to then look at the current. So again, it's reached a saturation point. They're acknowledging that basically, in layman's terms, nigga, if you was going to sign up for streaming, you already did. If you didn't, you probably never will. That's kind of what they're saying, right? They're saying we got all the people that were down to get on with streaming already signed up. The people that ain't signed up, they still gonna use their brother account, their bitch account, their nigga account, whatever account, but they're not never gonna get an account for themselves. So then what usually happens, and there's two ways because they still want to gain more money. How do you gain more money if you can't gain more people? And that's the only thing in selling. It's two things. You either got to up the price or you got to start offering new products to those existing people that they could pay more. And this is where the music industry is about to try to figure out some new shit in the next couple of years, because if they can't get more people to listen, they're going to now, and I've seen a lot of people kind of throw around some theories, and I've heard some theories. They're thinking about doing, live streaming concerts within Apple. Well, they already do, but they want to almost kind of create like a Netflix concert-like experience that you could see on Spotify. If you're like one of the super fans of a particular artist, you could go to a virtual tour. Obviously, they have merch already built into at least Spotify. But they're trying to get more revenue to get people to pay more. The second thing they're trying to do is that some of these streaming services, they'll offer an ad-based tier, which means you don't pay really. But when you listen to a bunch of music, essentially you hear an ad. So you'll hear like 3 ads and then they'll play your song, right? And the ads are supposed to pay for the lack of subscription you didn't have because you didn't pay. You get what I'm saying? However, that's, just like that's why YouTube has the lowest payout. Ad-based stuff isn't as profitable as somebody putting down cold hard cash. So they want to get rid of that. And again, this is a super interesting time for the music industry to kind of figure out shit, because where this is headed to is another big fight. There's going to be another big fight coming between Universal Music Group, and when I'm saying Universal, I mean Sony probably as well. They're going to follow suit, and Warner, against the streaming services, because the labels always want more. That was the fight with TikTok. Give us more money. Give us more money. And TikTok's like, nigga, calm down. No, no, no. Give us more. All right, we ain't giving you more. All right, take our music off there. They argue for a little bit and they come to some deal. Put it back on. You get what I mean? It's like a holdout if you like sports. So a fight is coming because if Universal is acknowledging that revenue isn't ramping up as they would like based on new people that these tech companies are added to or continually to add yearly to the streaming services as subscribers, they're going to just say, well, we need to revisit the splits. Maybe we just need to be an 80-20. I'm making it up. I don't know exactly what the splits are between Apple and UMG or Spotify and UMG. So anyway, this is one of those things that people are kind of monitoring behind the scenes. It's probably going to take place in the next year or two. We're going to see a fight. Just mark this video down. You're going to see a fight between UMG, who, by the way, I think people, as much as UMG is like the greediest label, but for the investors, that's good. Like, they're always trying to bully people. Like, they got the biggest catalog. At the end of the day, they could always say to the people who they're in business with, oh, word? All right, take off Taylor Swift, take Drake off, take this off, like take the weekend off. Like, they got the biggest artists in the world, right? And now granted, I do believe Taylor Swift is one of the people who made that TikTok thing happen. This is how crazy Taylor Swift is. Or not crazy, but like how big as an artist she is. She kind of reversed it on UMG to say, yo, y'all get back with TikTok immediately. Stop playing. So she couldn't be used as leverage, and of course they struck a deal. Anyway, just a little bit of music industry stuff that's coming down the pipeline. I'm watching this for the next year. We're gonna see. Okay, all right, my people. We are gonna get into the Pop Smoke killer situation. Except, I heard a little rumor. Heard a little rumor, man. Let me see do I have an update on that? No, not yet. So I hear that Nicki Minaj was on this online radio app called Station Head. She was throwing a bunch of shots, man. She's the queen of, let's just say subliminal. And she kind of, I told you how she moves. She talks to her fans in a very coded way and basically programs them on who to attack, who they don't like at the moment, and who they're clowning. And the barbs somehow, it's like a language. Barb language is like a whole thing to itself. They completely get it. And not only do they get it, they be like, all right, mission, we got the mission, let's go complete it. So check this shit out. Okay, let me see if we can get to it.
I'm gonna tell y'all, man, hire me for your Elliot Will Drake. But trade for
There's a guy talking in the beginning of this. He's kind of giving away some of the
Graham.
Here we go.
Some friends.
Subscribe and share the video with your friends. Check out the clip and let me know down in the comments.
Use fake photos. They have to put photos of people like me on their page in hopes that they get some friends. And that's really not what you know what I mean? So people use social media for a lot of things, but it normally boils back down to follow the money, right? Follow the money. Now, of course, today's in this day and age, a lot of people equate clout with money, but we're not talking about them. We're not talking about them. They gonna learn that. But we talking about if someone were the age of, let's say, 53, right? Do you think they should be messy on the internet? Or do you think, and if they have to be messy on the internet in order to get their coin, don't you feel bad that they didn't get enough coin before they turned that age?
What do you say, Nicki?
But
Okay. Now, y'all might have not got that. Yo, listen, I want to know why everybody hate Elliot Wilson, man. This has to be studied. So this was about Elliot Wilson. Elliot Wilson, ironically, is 53. Okay. Recently we've seen Charlemagne get at him, Drake got at him, and now Nicki Minaj, basically in a roundabout way, is getting at him. And I don't know, man. I'm wondering why everybody hates Elliot Wilson so bad. And I'm wondering if it's a few things. Is it because of his age or is it because of his actions? Um, you know, again, I think Elliot's kind of doing what a lot of other people are doing in media. So I don't know if it's his age. Nah, she ain't talking about Joe. She's not talking about Joe. Somebody said she talking about parables. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know why people hate Elliot Wilson. I think he's doing what the majority of media personalities are doing. One thing I'll say is that it's clearly working. You know, one thing I say about artists is that artists hope to control the media or control the thoughts of the media. And when you get artists upset at you, as long as you're not operating in bad faith, you're probably doing something right or you're operating and giving your thoughts in a very non-biased or let me not say non-biased, but you're down to go against the grain, right? Now, I think Elliot's a little bit different because Elliot, you know, and I think this is why he's been getting dragged by a lot of people. Elliot Wilson, Nicki Minaj. Yeah, he did an interview with these people. Okay, maybe that makes sense. Didn't they do a crown together? Oh, they did. Okay, now it's making a little bit more sense. I think what's going on with Elliot is that a lot of the artists, like for example, I've never gotten a Nicki interview. Of course, I would interview Nicki. Never got a Drake interview. Of course, I didn't interview Drake. Like Elliot's got those interviews, and I think people feel like he's regressed. Like, you know, he went from, people like me. I had to come up talking about the artist because the niggas didn't want to talk to me, right? Either I was irrelevant at the time, or they were like, "Who is this nigga?" You get what I'm saying? Or didn't like what I said. I made that a thing for me, where I'm like, yo, listen, I actually now at this point, to be honest, in 2024, I'd rather talk about you than to you, all right? Because I like when people don't clear shit up. I'll set the narrative. You feel what I'm saying? However, I think with Elliot, they looked at him like someone they respected, that the someone who was like a great journalist that would talk to them, and they feel like he's like now. I hate to use the word regressed, but they feel like now he's in like the lane of like gossiping. That's the only way I could size it up, because I can't tell why they all mad at him. You get what I mean? But I think these people look at it like, yo, I gave an interview. I did an interview with you back in the day. Like, yo, what's going on? Now I don't know what Elliot Wilson necessarily has said about Nicki Minaj recently or what he's posted about her. However, it's interesting to see how he'll kind of take this and run with it. Shit. I think he's in his villain arc. I think Drake said something about him. He went crazy on Drake. And listen, yo, Elliot reminds me of me when Big Act had to come out. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm Akademiks. That's me. But Big Act had to come out when everybody was playing with me. Like, and I'm like, damn, like, when everybody's trying to make it a butt of the joke, like, oh, okay, we just play with this motherfucker, this nigga ain't shit. That's when I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to stand on business. And I think that's the mode that Elliot Wilson's actually on. I ordered liquor. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Oh man. Anyway, so I think he's in that mode. I'm wondering if he's gonna address it. Anyway, let's go back to the parables that Nicki Minaj is speaking in. All right. No, that's not it.
See,
Oh, okay. And lastly, I think the only thing, and I'm gonna give some constructive, and hopefully Elliot doesn't take it wrong. I do think they talked down on Elliot a little bit. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all notice none of these motherfuckers won't beef with me no more? Like, nigga, I've never got more flowers. Nigga, I'm getting flowers, bouquets. I'm getting all type of shit. Like, the only knock they try to give me these days is you might not like him, but they got to hit with a but. You know what I mean? He is kind of running shit. Like, before they used to be dissing me all. Like, you notice I don't got no smoke no more. Like, I'm chilling. I think with Elliot, like, if Elliot had, like, built up like an entity, right? If he had turned Rap Radar, because it was a poppin' blog, into like this dominant, multifaceted, culturally relevant platform today, right? And if that was seen with years of, you know what I mean, just kind of building an audience, because shit, they had a huge audience, I think these artists would talk to him different. That's what I realized. That's definitely what I realized, bro. Because let me tell you this. Anytime an artist, and this is any media personality, anytime, these artists think 3 times before dissing me now. I promise you. I swear. Nigga, I've been waiting for artists to diss me all week, all month. They don't, listen, as soon as I say something to somebody these days, they'll hit me on the low. They'll get somebody else to hit me. Nobody, I ain't gonna lie. Like right now, ain't nobody coming out and say, fuck me. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like there was a time I felt like they were trying, but these days, they all just kind of like, man, leave that nigga alone. There's only one thing that I think affects that, right? What affects that is if people think you matter. Honestly. And it's only one exception when Drake went at Joe. Because I think he does think Joe matters. But he motherfucking, he tired of Joe doing some personal shit. That's it. Anyway. For example. Nigga, I said damn near almost half of the same shit as Joe. I didn't get this by Drake. You know what I mean? Like, artists know, be like, I'll give you another example. Polo G. Nigga, Polo G was telling Vlad, he about, nigga, let's link up right now. So me and Vlad talking, and Vlad's like, this guy went crazy on me. And I'm talking to Vlad, and I'm like, Vlad, he did hit me and ask me for my number too. And Vlad is like, I think he about to turn up on you. And I'm like, okay. Me and Polo G had the nicest conversation in the world. So it's like, he had mad energy for Vlad. For me, listen, man. So the point I'm trying to say is that when you happen to be the media personality that everybody just be just kicking in the ass, man, you just got to work a little bit harder, right? Because that means these motherfuckers think they don't need you. When they think they need you, they be like, they do all type of, I ain't hear what he said. They do all type of ducking and smoke because they know it's just not in their benefit to argue with you. You get what I'm saying? Ever since I put that nigga, little baby back in his pajama clothes, these rappers is like, shit, you did that to Meek and that nigga, I'm good. Good point. But yeah, anyway, Elliot, I think they're trying you out here, gang. They're trying you out here, bro. They're trying you because they really, I'm telling you the truth, I ain't trying to instigate. They think you old and washed up. I don't think you old and washed up. I see you in the game. I be listening to your shit. But these artists, they're thinking that they could just say whatever about you and use your age, and people gonna be like, damn, this nigga finished out here. Man, you gotta just fight back, my brother. Or you actually don't gotta fight. If that's not your style, don't wild out an artist. But I'm telling you why it feels, in my opinion, why it feels like they're going at you. Anyway, all right. Oh, she wasn't done.
But see, isn't it funny, guys? How? Oh, what was yesterday? One of our keys was numbers don't. Men lie, women lie.
Somebody said, how I check Lil Baby, though? Nigga, didn't I play the damn interview where that boy said he should have never rapped about me? That's how I like niggas to say. Yeah, I should have never did that nigga in the first place. That's what I like niggas to say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't see it? I'll run it back. That nigga did a whole interview and said, man, I shouldn't even rap about that nigga, man. That's how I like rappers to talk.
Numbers don't, okay? So make sure anywhere you see my name on anything, any station, any blog, any this, any
What's
that,
she talking about now?
make sure they're also stating the numbers of everyone. Okay? Because remember how big they were on numbers, right?
Who is she talking about here? She be talking in parables. I think she either talking about Ice Spice, so her and Ice Spice like squabbling right now. Like this is like a very undercover beef. They're not like beefing like that, but I think she wants to show Ice Spice that because there's two schools of thought. Some people believe that Nicki needed to hop on the Ice Spice train to, kind of help prop herself up. And after we've seen Nicki sell 200 something records, 200 something thousand, she's on arena tours, and Ice Spice done sold 18K, and she's doing 2,000 venues. We're realizing, damn, we kind of did sound pretty stupid if we thought that Nicki needed Ice Spice. So I don't know if necessarily that's what she's talking about, but again, she speaks in parables.
Okay.
Is that she's talking about two men?
So if a person is still chasing the little
Somebody said Saucy had me shook. Batima now me shook it up, but still, yeah. Saucy got that, bro. Yeah, I get a win to that nigga.
pennies here and the little pennies there, should we put together a GoFundMe for them so they can retire? I'm just trying to think of something sweet because
Who's the
you know what I'm saying, Keys. Um, okay, chit chat with Haley said absolutely not. Tamara 26, you know what I'm saying? What if we put together a seafood broil
what?
and a GoFundMe
Hmm?
for anyone who sits around obsessing over Onika and the Barbs every day? Shouldn't they be on a boat?
All right, man. I don't know what's going on with Nicki, man. Anyway, all right. Bet. What else is popping in the news? So my boy Nelly got arrested. Damn. Now, they're saying that Nelly was arrested with a little bit of ecstasy. Now, okay. All right. So, essentially, let me see if I could just read the original story. So this is his attorneys now speaking. His legal team is firing back at the police after the rapper was arrested at a Missouri casino. They claim he was targeted by an overzealous, out-of-line officer. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Bruv, yo, listen, when you at a casino, and I'm just speaking tongue-in-cheek here, people. You at a casino, Nelly probably losing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, gambling, nigga rolling dice, nigga playing blackjack. Man, if that nigga can't pop his ecstasy pill there, man, if that nigga can't, like niggas go to casinos to fuck hookers and shit. Like that's where you go. Yo, I don't know why people think like a casino is like, that's where degenerate behavior like lives. You go there to fuck hookers. You go there to snort coke, eat pills. Like if you go to Vegas, nigga, it's like a drug induced like rage. It's like white. You know what the white dudes call it? The dudes they call it a bender. Yo, dude, I was just on a bender. The shit was crazy, dude. I took so many Jaeger bombs and I snorted like 15 lines, dude. Like shit was amazing. Yes. That's what niggas do at a goddamn casino. I don't know what casino this is. What type of? Oh, it's in Missouri. Yeah, what the fuck is he doing in Missouri? You gotta go to Vegas for that shit, nigga. Okay, let me see. He said Nelly had won the jackpot. And the morning, the arresting officer falsely told him they needed to run a background check before giving his money. I ain't gonna lie, man. Casino, I'm believing this. I'm believing this shit. Casinos, when it's time for you to lose, they never said, "Oh, let's double check." Nigga, if you ever
Man, Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, beefing again. Always beefing. Nicki Minaj, I'm not gonna lie, I mess with Nicki, and I feel like Nicki is the greatest female rap artist of all time by far, and it's not even close. Biggest and probably one of the most influential. She doesn't like young girls, so it's a lot of negative about someone like Nicki Minaj, but you feel me? You can't, despite her being the GOAT of this. That's one thing I'll say about Lil Wayne's cash, like why Young Money and all that stuff. He literally, it's like Jay-Z and him, they okay. I think Jay-Z made the richer group. I think Jay-Z made billionaires, like business savvy people. Like Rihanna is Rihanna. And then Kanye is Kanye. Like okay, Kanye you could put in a GOAT conversation. Even though he's a little crazy right now, you could put him in a GOAT conversation. Someone like Nicki Minaj, though, she's undisputedly greatest female rapper of all time. Someone like Lil Wayne, he ran the game, literally ran it. Now Drake, he ran it for over a decade. Hey, bro, like I don't even know what to say. It's your boy Big Egg News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.